And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to a brand new edition of the Roundtable, coming to you live from the WWDBTV studios in the heart of Las Vegas. That's right. You're tuning in because you want some good down low conversation. That's right. We are here to do it. I'm Aaron Phillips, sitting to my far right, Denver Bronco great number 80, the flashing orange himself, Mr. Rick Upchurch.
Man, I've switched spots, right? You just don't want me close to you anymore.
Well, listen, you know how
remember under the table, I was just grabbing your leg all the time.
They had to put me in the middle.
That's right. Because George is not here. George is on assignment tonight, and the mouth is not here. But in his stead, we have welcome, if you follow Thoughts Count Anywhere, the man we simply call the Chief is in the house. And there's a couple of reasons I've asked
Wait
Chief.
a minute.
What?
This isn't Saturday. What are you doing there?
I know, right? Do we have to play his intro when he starts talking?
No. This ought to be good.
Oh,
I'm looking forward to this one.
I want my Popeye intro.
that's what I meant. Play the okay. So,
my God.
one of the reasons, if you watch Thoughts Count Anywhere last week,
Yes.
Chief brought up a topic which I was privy to the week before, that he was dealing with his health care coverage. We'll just leave it at that, with some medication for his wife, and some of the frustrations that someone like Chief, who proudly served our country, right?
Yes.
That
Absolutely.
as a veteran, decorated and lovable guy here in this town, that he represents some things in that system that shouldn't happen. They shouldn't happen in the military, let alone to you and I as civilians.
They shouldn't happen.
They
to
shouldn't
anyone.
happen at all. So we're going to get to, you kind of tease it a little bit.
Sure.
I decided to have Chief come in and give him the platform to really kind of talk about that. We'll delve into that a little bit because it's stuff you, George, and I have talked about as well a little bit.
Yeah.
Plus, of course, we have a whole plethora of other topics.
How many?
And even, you like that one? Three. That's good. It's only Thursday.
Plethora.
You're
Now,
warming up.
I'm warming up. Now, with George not here, that means No America Speaks officially tonight. However,
I'm an American. I can speak.
yes, you can.
Let's have a rant.
But towards the end of the show, okay, Chief and I, we were talking about something before we went on the air that is completely different than the other topic.
I promise I'll calm down.
No, that's why I'm going to give you an hour.
No, we don't want you to calm down.
No.
Your energy.
No, my blood
So-
pressure.
Oh,
So-
I'm going to leave that alone.
Don't
Don't
bring
pump
extra
the...
pills with you just in
Don't
case.
need them.
So
I'm not giving him mouth to mouth. I'm not doing it.
We're good.
We're good.
we have his wife on speed dial.
Oh, okay. All righty.
So
She's on her way home too.
oh, is she?
Yeah.
So in lieu of the typical American Speaks,
Right.
I'm going to, hopefully, if time allows, we'll give Chief some of that end of the show time to air what he would like to bring up as another topic for discussion. It may be one that I personally don't get involved with because it for me personally,
Okay.
oh,
I think
see if that check comes and doesn't bounce, you motherfucker.
Oh, boy.
I think intelligently and as grown men,
we can have a discussion.
We can definitely.
Of course.
Oh yes.
Well, I'm being facetious. But anyway,
no.
before we get into the meat of today's show,
That's only three.
facetious. Yeah, that's still
That's
three.
Three.
So, well, we do this because on TCA, we try to figure out how many syllables we can best each other with. If you're watching us on Facebook, thank you very much. You got two channels, the Roundtable channel and, of course, WWDBTV channel to watch us there. If you go to YouTube, you got this show, the Roundtable show, and WWDBTV.com. But when you go to YouTube, you must hit the button that says live across up on the top. It says live. If you don't hit live, folks, you ain't seeing the show live.
They get to call in.
They can still call.
702-992-3207.
Is there a decaf?
I didn't know you could see that, Paul.
I know. He's got him mesmerized.
I'm not a jarhead.
Now, if you have, oh my God. If you can download apps to your phone, Android, WWDB-TV, you can download it and listen to us live there. And then if there's no show, of course, you can always listen to great music. Hello, Jennifer. Look who we got here today, Jennifer. And then, of course, if you're on your iPhone or Apple product, you can download WWDB-TV LV and you can listen there live as well. And as Chief so succinctly said, 702-992-3207.
You know why she tuned in?
Because you're here.
Because I'm here.
That's why I put promo posts out.
Yeah.
So if you are watching on YouTube, you can put comments there on the YouTube channel. We will get them in here with which we can address. And I have a funny feeling that on the plethora of topics with which I offer, we're going to have a lot of comments tonight. Now, with that all being said, if you miss all of that in about 72 hours, just simply download WWDBTV channel to Roku. That's right, Roku, the big international streaming service. And you can watch all the shows here that the station has to offer.
You know, I have to say thank you all for inviting me in. Greatly appreciate it.
The world is better when there's more Chief.
Absolutely.
You know what?
He's bringing a plethora of knowledge.
Holy shit.
Gee, you're rubbing off on me, Aaron, big time. If I hang around with you for a year, I'll pick up on something.
You know, I got to say something. I watched a TV show the other night, and somebody said, we need to laugh, we need to cry, and we need to love.
Sure.
Mr. Jimmy Valvano.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
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 Man. Wear those emotions on your sleeve.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Why not?
And with that,
Mr. Rick, sir.
Yes.
How was your week? How was your week? Rick? Week?
hush.
Come on. Since we last
Mr. Rick,
convened.
how was your week, sir?
My week was excellent. You know what? I've had a great week. Feeling good.
You look good.
Children are doing good.
Excellent.
Coming off of Thanksgiving and that whole deal. Got rested up. And just ready here for the next phase of this holiday, and that's Christmas.
Absolutely.
And we'll talk a little bit about it's Hanukkah for you, for sure. But for some folks, it's Christmas.
Of course,
and
Kwanzaa. How many other holidays?
And a plethora of food.
24. There are 24 holidays
in the last
in November and December.
Holy cow.
And what are they all formed to do?
Eat more food.
Take money out of your pocket.
That's right.
Have you ever heard of dead presidents?
That's right.
They want them.
And
did you see what happened, man, over Black Friday? Black Friday was a record.
Was it really?
$12.7 billion, man.
Oh, the credit card collectors can't wait
they are just
now, that was
at
just
the mouth.
Friday. Are there any numbers about Cyber Monday?
No, I didn't see any
heard that
numbers.
was bigger.
Was it? Yes.
I heard Cyber Monday was bigger than Black Friday.
Yeah.
Wow, 12.
They didn't get none of my money.
Unfortunately, I got.
But I don't know
They
why
ain't
they
getting
call it
no
Black
money.
Friday. Every time I wake
I
up
don't
in the
either.
morning on Friday, I'm black. I look in the mirror. Black Friday. Every day I say that. Damn
Brother,
it.
brother, you
I
know,
believe the proper term is
you-
African American.
you know what I was taught?
No, I'm not.
You know what I was taught?
Donna, help me,
We
Donna.
may be different color, but we all bleed red.
Oh, you're absolutely right. I'm with you.
Do you honestly do it? Maybe we should educate our audience in case they don't know. But the real meaning as to why it's called Black Friday?
Why?
No, seriously.
Yeah, I know why.
Oh,
Because
okay.
it's a positive day
Right,
of
it's-
making money.
Right. It's one of the
Businesses are in the black.
right.
Yeah, in the
Businesses
black.
hope to get into the black, which means they're not owing people money.
Right.
And there may be people out there that have never realized that.
But
That's
what has happened now? Remember back in the day, man,
Yeah.
when people were camping out at
Oh.
Target and camping out at Walmart and
at midnight the
At
night before, and there was only one thing on the shelf that they were all fighting to get.
all
one.
fighting to get. I mean, hair flying everywhere and
What was the movie?
bras being pulled off
Cabbage Patch.
and everything.
What? I never saw the bras one.
You
What
didn't?
was the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad? They went after this one Christmas doll and they were fighting in the store. I know someone's going to know out there.
I don't know.
But this was a movie 25 years ago.
I
Wow.
don't know.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I tell my wife,
25 years.
as soon as Thanksgiving hits,
I'm
I don't
still
touch
in
the
the-
mall
No.
until January
No.
15th,
No way.
unless it's something really dire that I can't get online.
Right.
I mean, we've all, since the pandemic, let's face it, I'm surprised Black Friday in its numbers, 12.8 million. You said 12.8
Mhm.
million or billion?
Billion.
Okay, billion. I thought I heard million, but billion makes sense. But I don't want to deal with the crowds.
I'm with
I'd
you.
rather sit behind my keyboard and go to Amazon.
Sure.
You know,
I'll pay the few dollars
you know,
extra.
Liz and I, we used to go
Yeah.
when we were younger. We used to go get
Sure.
up and go in the. But you know, Liz said this year there was nothing that she needed,
Mhm.
and if you want something, you just said it. You can normally find it on the internet. No, it's only
Still
three.
only three.
Damn.
Black Friday.
Yeah,
That's
no, that's 2 words. That don't count.
That's a compound word.
But anyway, You go on the internet,
Yeah.
you can probably find it at a better price than you can in the
Oh,
store.
Absolutely.
It's so funny you said that because I hope my wife's not listening, which you know she probably isn't. So I'm running on Facebook and I get yeah, exactly.
You're welcome.
I'm running on Facebook. I'm watching Facebook last night.
Yes.
And an ad popped up for McFarlane Toys. And this is one of these companies that make the figures, the Batman. I mean, really good, right?
The good ones.
So I clicked on it because it was a wholesale, because some of these stores were closing, right? $30 sports or action figures, $3.
How much did you spend?
$20,
Oh,
including
okay.
shipping. I only bought two.
That's not bad.
Two Batman,
20
two Michael
bucks?
Keatons. That's it. They were
$3 and $3 is $6.
right, plus tax and shipping, and I'm rounding up was
Oh,
$20.
right.
Honest to God.
He's a numbers man. Don't
Honest to
mess with
God,
him.
this you
That's
talk
not
about the
bad.
specials.
That's not
Seriously,
bad.
These are $20 figures.
Yeah.
That this guy was selling for $3.
She's
Yeah,
not
good.
listening right
No, that's why I know she's not.
That's not bad considering what you spend.
No, stop
on
it!
Saturday.
No!
Well, the thing about it, here's
I'll
why.
finish. That's
This is
later.
this is the end of the year, right? And all the stockholders
Yeah.
and all of these folks at the end of the year,
They get their
that's-
money.
That's that last quarter, man. They're looking at going into the next year and looking how those numbers look. Did I make money in this company?
Right.
Did I come out ahead?
Yep.
And that's the reason, man, they push it so hard
Right.
with Christmas and Thanksgiving
Mhm.
and with New Year's.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Listen, I think the holiday season doesn't end until January 15th. Why?
that's right.
You know, all those returns that people get stuff that they don't want have to go back to the store.
That's right.
You know,
So
you know the funny thing is too, it's like everything we talk about today, it's all about money.
oh yeah.
Sure it is.
It's not about people.
No, it's not.
No.
It's not how we feel or the holiday season. It's just how much money. And I don't care what topic we talk about.
Right.
It's all about money.
Absolutely. That what's the old saying? Money is the root of all evil, right?
Just don't talk
No,
about
the lack of money.
just don't talk about the Oakland Athletics.
Oh, I promise I won't. All right, before we go to break though.
Wait, you mean the Oakland Bees?
Yeah, I heard about that
Did
too.
you see that?
What the frig?
The Oakland what?
That's
Bees.
their minor league team.
Who's that?
The Oakland Ballers.
The athletics.
Who are we? Oh, the Athletics. Oh,
Don't even
see,
try-
you guys are messing me up.
Don't
here,
even- it's
man.
not even baseball
Don't even
season.
worry about
Yeah.
it. Don't even-
So before we go to break, though, I do want to bring up one other sports topic. Then we'll go to break, come back, and we'll get started with Chief. So I read an article yesterday that billionaire Miriam Adelson
Yes.
Yep.
sold
Yep.
stocks, and it didn't say at the time when I read this article that she sold the stocks looking to invest it in a sports
Was it
franchise.
20 million
And the
or 20
oh,
billion?
it was a B.
20 billion. 2
So-
billion.
$2 billion.
So as I read the article, they didn't announce what it was, but they this should be interesting. Figure maybe she's investing here in Vegas.
Right.
Oh, nay, as the late comedian John Panette would say. Subsequently, our good friend, the historian, posted an article right in our Thoughts Count Anywhere chat room
Yes,
as
he
I
did.
literally got done reading the first article
Yes.
that Mark Cuban is selling off some of his shares of the Dallas Mavericks to whom? Miriam Adelson.
Yeah.
Now that got me
At
thinking.
an astronomical price.
Yeah.
Astronomical. 5.
You don't have to do anything on Saturday. Then you're good. That 5 syllables took care of 2 shows.
There you go.
So first of all, my first thought was: is there an issue that Mark Cuban is having financially that he's giving up stock? And now taking in 2.2 billion is not terrible either.
Tell the rest of it, though,
What's that?
what they're going to do in Texas.
Tell me. Did I miss I guess there was a third article.
Evidently, the talk is they're going to build a casino
Oh,
and a
that's
new
right.
arena.
Yes, that's right. I
But I'll let you
apologize.
talk about
No.
that.
I'm glad you reminded me because I did read that. But who better to bring in now that you think about it than Miriam Adelson? The guy was married to Mr. Adelson, who built half the freaking strip here.
Well, and also
Nathan Adelson.
remember what
Right.
we've always talked about as far as business,
Yeah.
or investing or whatever else. What you do is you buy low and you sell high. Right now, franchises are being sold for billions.
Right.
And I think he's at the right price right now. I don't know what his investment was, but I'm sure he's made a lot of money with this basketball team, and he felt like it's the right time.
Oh, sure.
He's still going to be the managing partner.
He's still
as
gonna
well.
be
He's the majority. He's
Yeah.
the majority stockholder.
I would
still.
if I were
But I
Mark-
think selling high is the key right
of
now.
course,
It's with
especially if
everything.
you bought low.
That's right.
No question. If I were him, I would have said to Miriam, sorry, you got to come on the Shark Tank and you got to convince me.
Yes.
Well, here's
That's how it'd been.
here's the question. With him selling to Miriam, is that a possibility that the Mavericks may move out here?
Oh,
No,
my
And
gosh.
no, wait. And with the possibility of a new arena and a new hotel being built in Texas, could there possibly be another team going to go to Texas? And we're going to get the Mavericks. See, I would rather leave the Mavericks there and us get a new team.
I hear where you're going with all that's been going on with all the sports teams. I would, as my old, you know who I'm talking about here, as my old timeshare boss used to say, if that happens, I'll kiss my own ass in Macy's window. I just don't
David,
see that shuffle
Macy's
that way.
got a big
I
window
know
in
they
New
have
York
two on the
City.
corner. I know.
Yes, they
They'll get a
do.
wide angle.
Well,
Yeah.
my thing is this:
With
is
Teddy
that
Ruxpin.
I've heard, through the grapevine,
Sure.
Well, you
that-
would know.
what's his name, Floyd Mayweather,
Mhm.
and LeBron James have been in conversation and putting together a partnership and bringing a basketball team here. LeBron wants to own a
Sure.
team, and what's happening here this coming next week? They're bringing the play-in here to Las Vegas.
Are you
So-
going?
Am I going to go? Yeah. And so I see where LeBron is now, and this is probably his idea in getting with the leadership man of the NBA and says, hey guys, if we want to get that market right now, let's go ahead and do this play in
Right.
there so that we can get folks ready for the NBA.
Right.
We need an arena, though.
Well, I think they
They'll convert for right now T-Mobile. They'll
Yeah,
convert T-Mobile if nothing else. But we're running out of space for arenas. That's the other thing. All right,
But
No, we're not.
we are up against break time.
doesn't basketball start? Basketball's going now, right?
Mhm.
And
Starts in
hockey-
October
and
with
hockey's-
hockey. Right.
And hockey's going.
I know.
So they would have to play
Well,
opposite
Grand Garden
days.
Arena, you can use that or play opposite days. Giants and Jets figure it out when they share a stadium.
Freaking
All right, with that, we're going to step aside for our first
Giants
break.
suck.
I'm going to be sorry that I invited him onto the show, aren't I? You're watching the Roundtable. I hope to be back and survive this show. Chief, we'll get the floor when we come back. Don't go anywhere. Most business owners struggle with the following issue. How do I brand my business to get noticed? Double Eight Design Studio helps businesses by designing brands that boost confidence, look and feel timeless, stand out from the competition, and attract all the right clients. Whether you are in need of a new brand, upgraded design elements, or completely redesign your current brand, Double Eight Design Studio has fully customized packages for your business. Call Chelsea McKendrick at 702-525-3334 and visit www.double8designstudio.com. Let Double Eight Design Studio give you a brand new outlook for your business. How unique.
It's gorgeous.
You'll find the art that speaks to your heart at Desert Valley Gallery. I've got to have it.
So colorful.
I can't live without it. You'll find the art that speaks to your heart at Desert Valley Gallery.
Hey, welcome.
Hey, we gotta finish. We gotta finish what we were talking about. UNLV's
Somebody
playing.
turn the mics off.
UNLV's playing.
Turn 'em on.
Playing Saturday at noontime.
No.
for the
Yeah.
first
Okay.
time in their history.
So before I go further on that, friends from Desert Valley Gallery, go up and visit them at Tivoli
Yes.
Village. If you spend a
Yes.
minimum of $150 on your first order only, you'll be entered into a drawing for two tickets to their cabaret shows that they do once a month. You could pick any month next year in 2024. But to get into that drawing, you must mention Thoughts Count Anywhere, Roundtable, Aaron Zauer, Aaron Phillips, John Stiles, anything associated with the
Ralph
studio,
Nader?
Ralph Nader, if we have to,
Johnny
and
Knoxville.
and tell them the chief sent you.
So make sure you go up there and visit. $150 minimum per. Look, it's the holidays, folks. You need gifts.
Those are those are great shows.
Absolutely.
Shows that they do.
And they even feed you.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Well, I had an opportunity to go.
Yes.
And let me tell you, folks, take the time and go. You will be amazed with the different things that they have in there that are unique.
That's fun.
They will make your eyeballs pop out, because when I went in there, I didn't want to leave. As a matter of fact, I told Monique, I said, hey, go ahead, man, and lock up. I'll stay and just look through this place. Folks, do yourself a pleasure and go. Go to Desert Valley Gallery.
And it's located right on the Valet Circle, if you're familiar with that, is in
Yeah,
Tivoli.
easy to find.
Yeah, you got
It's on the west side of town.
Summerlin.
Yeah.
Across from the, what's the hotel?
Rampart.
Rampart, and
That's
what's the other one?
west.
No, that's
Suncoast.
South-
West-
Suncoast, that's
West is that way.
right. All right.
So if you were
so I'm gonna
down
answer your
there
question
and you went that way, it would be
You almost
west.
put your finger into a Hall of Famer's
He wears
Ring of
glasses.
Honor.
He
Okay,
wears glasses.
so I'm going to answer the question this way, and then I'm giving the chief the floor. So tomorrow, I do a show 9 to 10.
I got
From
the
12
floor.
to 3, I'm actually in front of the camera filming a commercial. Then at 4:30, I'm going with my wife to the Las Vegas History Museum, where they're doing something for those who were part of the dinosaur fundraiser. Saturday, I'm here for 2 shows till 1 o'clock. I get Saturday night off. Sunday, though, I have a 3 p.m. call time for a wrestling show at 5 o'clock down in Oshkosh on the other side of town that I'm doing commentary.
Oshkosh
So
is east.
basically, I got no time to do anything.
I got you. I got you.
I'll be happy if I can find some sleep.
I got you. You're busy.
So,
You're
hey.
busy. Hey, man, that's a good thing. You're like a butterfly. You're
Yeah.
from flower to
All right.
flower.
With that, if you watched the end of TCA last week, Thoughts Kind of Anywhere, you got a little snippet on Chief's rant. It's why we wanted to invite him back
All right.
to have the floor to share his thoughts and opinions with Rick. We can have a conversation. But first, we like to call this the Chief's rant.
General quarters, all hands man your battle stations. Set material conditions Zebra throughout the ship. Make Z report to DC Central.
Because the chief says so.
All right. So, my friend, as usual, this is your time. Take a few minutes and let's give everybody a synopsis of what's going on, and then we'll have our discussion from there.
I will. Let me preface this by starting with 2 things. First of all, a continuing resolution continues the pre-existing appropriations at the same levels as the previous fiscal year. So in other words, 2023 right now, we're in a continuing resolution. They're using the same money as they did last year, the same amount of money. So that was the first thing I want to bring up. The second thing is, in the military, we have what we call a TRICARE. TRICARE is the military insurance.
Gotcha.
Okay, TRICARE Prime is active duty, and people who are under 65 who are not on Social Security yet, and Medicare, like I'm on TRICARE for life,
Okay.
because I am on Medicare
Right.
and Social Security. So anyway, in saying that, there is a thing called TRICARE formulary,
Okay.
which lists all of the medications for that year
Okay. That are covered.
That are covered.
Gotcha.
If there is a change every quarter, it gets reviewed, and if they have to take a drug off that they're not going to cover, then they send out a message.
Okay.
So that's the 2 things I want to go. So here's the story. I've been in the military 27 years. Okay. I'm retired. I retired 22 years ago. My wife, who is 57, is still on TRICARE Prime. We pay insurance.
Okay.
We pay for the insurance. All right. Just like you all do. All right. Except I don't pay insurance because I'm old. So anyway.
So there is value to getting old.
Yeah, sometimes. So anyway, so my wife takes medications that we get at the base. She put in for a refill a couple weeks ago. Went to the pharmacy. The lady at the pharmacy said, "Mrs. Miller, I'm sorry, but we don't have that medication, and we don't know when we're getting it." So my wife comes home, calls her doctor, talks to the nurse. The nurse says, she's right. We don't know when we're getting it. And we have to prioritize active duty, then people who are on it already, and then the new people are at the bottom line. Well, my wife's not a new person. She's been on the medication for some years now. So anyway, one of the alternatives was you can have the doctor write you a script and go out in town and get the medication at CVS or Walgreens or so I told Liz, I said, well, look it up, see how much it's going to cost. So she looked it up. And thank God we got good insurance. It's going to cost $38 a month. Okay. We're blessed. We can afford it. But I started thinking about it and I said, wait a minute, something's not right here. I've done my time. We pay for Liz's insurance. The medication that she needs is on the formulary list. So the hospital and the pharmacy should be carrying it. Now I'm going to go back and digress. That's only two.
Still only two.
That's okay.
You're digressing in your
I
number
got
of syllables.
I got five. So anyway, when I brought up about the continuing resolution, Liz was told at both pharmacies that the medication, the level of medications they have right now is due to the continuing resolution. I don't understand it. I can't figure it out because it says right here, and I'll read it again. A continuing resolution continues the pre-existing opportunities at the same levels as the previous fiscal year.
So like the teachers are still working on last year's contract because they haven't increased anything.
So in my mind with this, the medications, there shouldn't be no issue about medications. Now, the reason I brought this up, if it's happening to us, and when I say us, militarily,
Sure.
if it's happening, is it happening out in town and people aren't aware of it?
I would say yes.
I would say more than likely. You're a man that does his due diligence and not
Here-
a whole lot of people follow up and get the info.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. And I'm going to be honest. We have great insurance, okay?
Yes.
For Liz's insurance, we pay under $400 a year for full coverage, okay? That's nothing. I have friends who pay $4,000 and $5,000 a month for insurance. If we're having trouble getting a medication, what the hell is happening in society that we're not aware of that people can't get their medications?
Rick, I'll let you address any of these points first.
Well, for me, you know,
Please
with
talk.
my
I gotta calm
leukemia,
down.
with my leukemia and that, you
Right.
know,
Oh, yeah.
I take a medication 3 times a day.
Right.
And I remember back when I first, started taking to Cigna, it was going to cost me $10,000 a month, right, for medication. And the thing about it, it was a trial base.
Okay.
This was a trial based medication. And so I was asking them, so if it's a trial-based medication, why can't I get it free to make sure and see if it works?
Mm-hmm.
And then if we see that it works, and then I can look and find and see if I can get the company to back me up. They have programs that you can get on. And so I remember the first time they told me that, I had to do a fundraiser. I didn't have $10,000 to give them so that I could get my first dosage of medication. And so then after that, what I had to do is I had to get with Novartis. I had to fill out a bunch of paperwork of what I made and how much I brought into the house and all of that type of stuff, send it in, and then they would put me on a program where I could get it free. So right now, because I got with Novartis, filled out all the paperwork, I get all my medication free now. But I have every year I have to redo all that paperwork.
You have to refile.
To show, to refile it. So I understand what you're talking about. I understand what you're saying. These medications are so expensive.
It's wrong
as well.
It's
and
wrong.
People just can't even afford it. I would have to have a copay. I would have to have a copay of about $2,500 a month if I didn't get on that program with Novartis. $2,500 a month.
And this goes back to what we talked about at the beginning of the show, didn't we?
Right.
Money.
The
Of pharmacists, right? Because you always hear the stories of doctors will prescribe medications because they just want to not cure the issue. They want to pacify the symptoms.
Keep coming back.
To keep coming back for it. And that's why we hear, at least I do, I hear a lot more friends and read about stuff where people are spending more time researching the holistic. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
The holistic method, and I don't know if it works or not. Maybe it does. I've never had an opportunity to try one or another.
Sure.
But for a lot of people, it certainly does. The greens and the this and the supplements and if it works, God bless you. And people are looking for all these alternative ways to heal versus paying out this kind of money. Now, I'm not military.
No.
I tip my cap to all military,
absolutely,
past, present, future, and families. But from an inventory standpoint, like Chief is sort of alluding to, there's a med I take every month. It's even on my auto refills from CVS. So I remember back in the day when I was working for an auto glass company, you always kept glass in inventory.
Right.
And the inventory person had what was called a min-max. Minimum left on the shelf before you order to get back to that maximum number.
Gotcha.
So when you have orders on auto refill like mine is, okay, and you should be able to print a little report out that says, okay, what are my upcoming autofills for the next 30 days?
30 days, sure.
And then you say, okay, I got it. And then you sort it by medications. Shouldn't you be able to then use that to say, okay, I got this on the shelf. I better get this before the next 30 days.
Right.
So that Aaron Phillips doesn't come in here pissed because I don't have his medication, but they don't.
Right.
And this one medication, more times than not, I'll put it in. I get the text that says you're confirmed.
Right.
And then when I go pick it up, sorry, we'll get it in a couple of days. So one time, this is really funny. One of my meds that I take is sort of like, I hate to use this word, but it's not, more like an upper. It just kind of helps bring my mood up in the morning.
Gotcha.
So they didn't have my med. I was out. So you know what they said to me? I said, so what can I do? Because it was too early to get the doctor. He says, you know what I recommend? Do you drink coffee? You mean caffeine? Yeah. No, I don't. I'm not a coffee drinker. My choice of drink is hot chocolate. He says, well, how about some caffeine pills? I've never tried them.
Yeah.
It's better to have something than nothing.
Sure.
Went over to the counter, we went a box of 30, whatever it was. So for 2 or 3 days, I was on these. You know what? I didn't feel any different.
Right.
And they were cheaper with these caffeine pills. The problem is I've been on the other ones for so long that you get anal retentive about not having the other meds you're so used to.
Here's the thing, guys. Look, we got to understand medications, they want us to be sick. The doctors, the scientists, all of these folks want us to be sick. Otherwise, they would be out of a job.
Right.
And so if they're out of a job, what happens to the folks that invest in the hospitals and the pharmaceuticals and the pharmaceutical companies? They don't make any money. That's also what drives our drives our economy.
Yep.
You know, Mr. Bush, Papa Bush, he sat on the board of directors of the pharmaceutical companies.
Mm-hmm.
And so that tells us, man, where a lot of folks are putting their money so that they can get a return on their money, guys.
Of course.
And it's all about money, but certainly it's about, you know, keeping people well. But man, if they can keep you as a repeat, you know, patient, they got you hooked, and they know that year in and year out, that money is going to be coming in.
John?
All right, correct me if I'm wrong, but we're all old enough to remember, wasn't it sometime in the mid-'60s, up to that point, hospitals, the whole medical profession, it was illegal for them to be for profit.
Right.
And it was it Reagan
Yes.
that
Changed it.
that changed that?
From
And-
now, yep.
Right. So, and from that point on, we were screwed.
Yes, absolutely. Because just like the prison system, right? The prison system was not for profit. I remember back in the day, you know, you go and they say, well, you know, we're not for profit. We're not for profit. We're not for profit. I didn't go to jail, but I would visit them. But then all of a sudden it turned, it changed
Mm-hmm.
because they saw a way, because of so many people that were taking up the bed space. They said, what we need to do is make them a number and make them make money for us.
Mhm.
And that's what they did. They changed it and made it for profit.
So let me give you the ultimate scenario. At the one pharmacy, they get, for the medication Liz needs, they get 6 boxes of it a week. Each box is good for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So Liz called her doctor back, talked to the nurse. The nurse put a script in, signed by the doctor, to the main pharmacy.
Mm-hmm.
Liz went yesterday, activated it, got a 30-day supply yesterday
Mhm.
at the hospital. So they do have it.
Got you.
But we shouldn't have to go through that. My wife has a script from her doctor. She goes see the doctor twice a year, every 6 months.
Right. Mhm.
She has a prescription for 6 months
Mhm.
supply.
Got you.
She should be able to get it. We pay our insurance on time.
Mhm.
That's what the coverage is for.
Yeah. But
So-
the number one thing that you have to do now, you have to get a reference. Each time you go for an
Referral,
MRI
yeah.
She's
or
got
get your medication
Mhm.
filled out and that whole deal,
Mhm.
you have to go to your general doctor and get what?
Yep.
A reference.
Yep.
Because if you don't get a reference, you don't get your medication.
Exactly.
Now, with my wife working for the school district, that is the case in a lot of ways. But she also had an option of that's the HMO. Where
Yes.
you always need the referral.
Yes.
She has the PPO,
PPO, yes.
where you don't
You
necessarily
can
need the
select.
referral, right?
I got you.
But you should. We call the insurance company first to make sure
sure.
Dr. Jekyll is actually on the list.
That's right.
So we're fortunate that we are able to accommodate our needs
Mhm.
with that option.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
look, it's a situation like many in this country that needs to be addressed and fixed, not only for those who served
the military
and
yeah.
represented the government,
Mhm.
but for everybody and anybody that's in situations that cannot get their medications, that need to rely on them to get them like clockwork.
Yes.
And it's a big task
Mhm.
to figure out the right, or at least a compromise like solution to fix it.
Here's the thing, though. If we're having trouble here on shore, what are my fellow brothers
Out on the ocean.
having to go through out on the sea?
Yeah. True.
And I'll just leave it at that. And you know what, fellas, I appreciate you letting me come in and talk about this,
Yes.
because I don't think it's just got to do with this. I think it's got to do with all of us.
Yes,
Absolutely.
I
Because you
agree.
know what? The same pharmaceutical companies are providing the same meds for you,
That's right.
for me, for you, and for
That's
everybody out there, regardless of where we have to
That's
obtain
right.
them.
That's right.
All right. We're going to put Chief on the hold for his other topic if we have time for it. It'll be a rather fun topic. So what I want to
Brisk.
not brisk,
Right.
brisk,
Not
Okay.
brisket
No,
either.
no. That's hubcaps.
With a K.
Okay, so before I get into the topics, you said something while we were at break and we didn't address it. Last couple of within the last week to 10 days, we lost Rosalind Carter, former
Yes.
First Lady.
God bless her.
And
Fine woman.
yesterday, at 100 years old, Henry Kissinger passed away. His history really speaks for itself.
Yeah, it
in a
does.
lot of
It
ways.
does.
I mean, a lot of good, a lot of
Ups and downs.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I saw Anthony Blinken was over in Israel
Okay.
with Israel's Secretary of Defense.
Mhm.
He said that he had gone to Mr. Kissinger about a month ago
to get advice.
to get advice.
There's a movie on, I want to say Netflix, or it might be on Amazon Prime. I don't remember, called Golda.
Golda.
You guys
yes.
know who Golda is.
Yes.
Golda Meir
Meir.
was a
Golda
former
Meir.
prime minister in Israel back in the 70s.
Right.
And the show was about the 7-day war between the Egyptians and Israel
Israel.
on Yom Kippur and all that.
Yep. Right.
And of course, Henry Kissinger played a major role in
it.
that.
Yes, he did.
And so I can't think of the actor's name who played him, but he was prominent in that as well. So it's good, like him or not, the man played a key role in a lot of things in the
in
world.
world events.
In
Yes,
world,
he did.
right, exactly.
But
Yeah.
the thing that I couldn't fathom was here's a man 100 years old and they're still going to him
Yeah,
for advice.
that's crazy. I didn't know
That's
that.
the thing.
That's
Because
crazy.
he has a footprint.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you know, when you see those footprints in that path, why are you going to carve
Right.
another path out when
Right.
this one is pretty easy if you step in the same steps?
Absolutely,
with it, you
no
know?
question.
Yeah.
All right,
Or you're that desperate.
Or you're that
Shot.
desperate, either one.
and now he had a very heavy European accent.
He did.
So
Yes.
imagine as you
Yes.
get older, you know, speech isn't always the best, and it kind of goes away. But I'm sure he had his faculties; he had to have. But imagine with his very heavy accent,
Yeah.
and then as you get older, you just God, I hope he was able to talk correctly. Anyway, and then the other one that happened today, I want you to address.
Well, when we're talking
The loss.
about our law enforcement,
Yeah.
anytime we hear about our law enforcement, you know, losing their lives, it's really a tragedy. And I can imagine the parents, I mean, the wives and the children of the troopers this morning. That were hit.
Motorcycle, weren't they?
I don't know.
I didn't think they were. I don't recall it being motorcycle. They just said state
They
troopers.
said they just
Okay.
said state troopers,
Yeah.
and we don't know what happened. You know, all the
No.
details are vague. But they had stopped a gentleman. You know, they suspected him of being drunk,
Mm.
and so they pull him over. They get out, and next thing you know, they're being hit, and both of them were killed.
Mhm.
And what a tragedy! You know, you just don't ever know when something bad is going to happen. Especially our son is a firefighter here. He's been a firefighter for 29 years here for the city of Las Vegas. And so we always pray in the morning. We wake up in the morning and pray that the protection is over him. And I do that with all law enforcement. I do that for our military when I wake up in the morning,
Mhm.
because they're doing things, man, to protect us, to make sure that our lives are better.
Now,
As-
people.
As I say, they've all assumed the watch.
People will talk bad about Las Vegas outside of our town.
Mhm.
Sin City, it's dirty, it's gambling, it's sex, it's drugs, it's all of this. But I want people, before we go to break, I'm gonna make my comment that John can be ready
Sex
for
is
break.
dirty.
I guess I should have gapped those two.
Maybe you should have
Space them out a
gone to
little
break
differently.
first.
Maybe I should have gone to break first. Holy crap.
Hey, man, just asking.
Oh my Lord. Anyway,
You still
so
got your train of thought?
no, but I'll figure it out.
All right.
But I will say this about our city. We come together in moments of crisis in this town to support our community like no other. Now, I'm going to give you a few instances. Of course, we
Vegas
know about
strong.
1 October. I mean, the worst.
Sure.
Hours every day for the first couple of days. There were people lined up for blocks around, you know, blood donation places, food, comfort, money coming in for the family. But the one that always stuck with me, and Ricky Cash and I were on the air doing Vegas and Rap when this one happens, when the 2 police officers were simply eating lunch at CC's Pizzeria.
Yep.
And 2 animals, a male and female, went in and gunned down these 2 police officers like they were nothing.
Right.
Now,
Yep.
police are always going to support police. First responders
Sure.
are going to support, military is going to support everybody.
Sure.
Folks, those 2 police officers at CC's had children that were young, and they lost their way in support for future in terms of college and everything. So what did the police ask to do? They set up a financial fund.
That's right.
This community came together at that time, correct me if I'm wrong, but raised a boatload of money, million maybe, I don't remember what it was, but it was a shitload of money,
Yes.
okay?
Yes.
You watch this community, and I'm sure what happened today is on national news. If it's not, it'll be on the cycle probably tomorrow.
Sure.
You will then hear reports about how Las Vegas, the entertainment capital of the world, sports entertainment, people, you're going to see a community come together yet again to support the family. And I'm not just talking the police. I'm not just talking fire, EMT to support these people or military. I'm talking the 2.5 million people that live in this town will come together like no other town and support the family of those two officers. That's what makes this town special. Not all the gambling and all the sports crap. That's great for you guys, the tourists. For us, it's a pain in the ass to get around the strip.
Well,
Especially if you bring an F1 into this town.
Yeah, well, folks have a heart. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? When you have tragedy like that, because you never know when that's going to happen to you.
Absolutely.
Or your family.
Yep.
So the natural thing, if you're a human being, is to step up to the plate and says, I'm going to help in any way that I possibly can. I don't care if it's 2 cents. I don't care if it's $200. I don't care if it's $2,000. I'm going to do something to make sure that this family man is taken care of.
So with that, to the Carter family and to the Kissinger family, from those of us here at Thoughts Count Anywhere,
That's okay.
the Roundtable and
The
all the
Roundtable
shows
and
here at
all our shows.
WWDBTV, we send our condolences to you. Now, to the police officers' families, of course, we love you and hold you all in our heart. But
Yes.
if any one of you are listening, or if anybody watching this show can send this to them, please reach out to WWDBTV. Reach out to me, to Rick, to Chief. If there's anything you need to promote, anything you've got going on to raise funds for the families, please. I know you got Channel 8, Channel 3, and I'm on the internet, folks. Those
Right.
shows are not.
Right.
Okay, we got millions of viewers watching shows here in Las Vegas. So reach out to us. We'll support you any and which way we can and will. With that, break number 2, because we come back, we got a couple more topics, and if time allows, we'll give Chief the final platform to bring up his brisk topic for conversation.
Brisk.
You're watching TRT. We'll be right back.
How unique.
It's gorgeous.
You'll find the art that speaks to your heart at Desert Valley Gallery. I've got to have it.
So colorful.
I can't live without it. You'll find the art that speaks to your heart at Desert Valley Gallery.
Most business owners struggle with the following issue. How do I brand my business to get noticed? Double 8 Design Studio helps businesses by designing brands that boost confidence, look and feel timeless, stand out from the competition, and attract all the right clients. Whether you are in need of a new brand, upgraded design elements, or completely redesign your current brand, Double 8 Design Studio has fully customized packages for your business. Call Chelsea McKendrick at 702-525-3334 and visit www.double8designstudio.com. Let Double 8 Design Studio give you a brand new outlook for your business. You were Madonna before Madonna knew who she was. All right, welcome back. We'll get into that. Anyway, the roundtable is back. All right, couple more topics. We're on about 10 and a half minutes left. So let's cover 2 topics. One of them is one that we always talk about, and you bring up a lot during your rant
I tried.
on TCA. And we talk about schools and what are some of the issues and obstacles that we're at least facing here in town, but
Yes.
not dissimilar to different parts of the country. Absenteeism by our students. So
My goodness.
I want to put this in perspective for our viewers.
Since you're a teacher, right?
Oh,
you're
yeah.
in it. You're in the
I'm
you're
in
in the war. You're in the woods with this.
I'm in the trenches.
Yes.
So Clark County School District, their goal was to have absenteeism less than 20%. Think about that, folks.
For the year?
For the year.
For
per
the year.
school. Yeah, and for
Yeah.
the year.
Okay.
They were willing to accept 20% absenteeism on a monthly basis. So when the school started where I work, Gilbert Elementary School for Performing Arts, Homer Super 6 News, we started off the first month and a half at a very paltry 15, 16% absenteeism. Recently, I got an email. We saw an email from our principal, Mr. John Pillaton, who I've had the pleasure of interviewing on Aaron's Hour in the past. Our school went up, our school went up to 35% absenteeism.
Holy shit.
Now, our school body, our student body, we'll round it off to say is only 600. Put those numbers into
Oh my
perspective.
goodness,
So
man.
with that, I want to have everybody, and yes, I'm in it, and I work with students who are inconsistent in coming to school for their education, not only for my support as what I do for reading tutoring, and it's reflective of their results.
But what we have to do, Aaron, we have to look at the cause. And right here it says there's many causes to consider. And they say that one of them is that children are struggling with anxiety to go to school because they're saying they're afraid that they'll, get murdered, or since the pandemic, they might catch something or whatever, or they're being bullied at school. So there's a lot of reasons why this is happening. But still with that, when I was going to school, those things were happening then.
Right.
No different. But the thing about it, my grandmother and grandfather who raised me, they only had a 7th and 8th grade education, right?
Right.
They said, you're taking your butt to school and you're going to get an education, so you're not running around here dumb as a rock. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
1 + 1 = 2.
Right.
So where are the parents in all of this? Are they going to the PTA meetings? Do they know that their children, man, are missing school and skipping school? Do they care if their children are skipping school? That's the problem.
Well, I can answer about a student being absent. The schools are required to send a communication to the parents saying, Mr. and Mrs. Upchurch, we're just notifying you as for our records. Rick was not in school today. Are you aware? Whatever. So from absenteeism, they do address it. Tardy, I wish students would get there on time. We all have that account. Oh, wait, the word accountability was about to come out of my mouth.
Really? What is that?
But here's,
That was 6.
Ooh, that's good for me.
Damn, I got to come up with a 7 now.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. But anyway,
I got one for you, Chief. We'll talk later.
go ahead. Go ahead.
So anyway, Clark County School District Regulation R-5113. School district expects that schools must attain a standard of 90% attendance. Students who exceed 10 unexcused absences in any course during the semester will receive a failing semester grade for that course and may be retained in the current grade. Now,
Does it say what? Oh, in current grade. Because some of
Current
those
grade.
sound like it's more of a high school thing.
all right, but
But-
I want here's where I want to go. I listened
Yeah. Mhm.
to you two young men banter about this, so I want to give you my perspective.
Okay.
A child doesn't go to school, and according to this, they can have 10 unexcused absences.
That's right.
They fail for the year. I've heard it said that we can't fail students in school anymore. They have to be passed. Well, you know what? In my opinion, that's a bunch of bullshit. All right? A bunch of bullshit. If you don't do what you're supposed to do, keep them back. And maybe, just maybe, there'll be a few, and don't take this the wrong way when I say it, there'll be a few educators out there that will stand up and tell the current school board that you need to change some of your policies so that the children understand. And I'm not saying the little ones, but the bigger ones. You don't do what you need to do, you're going to fail the grade.
As someone who's in the trenches, I love your point. But those same parents, if they're not being held accountable at home to work with their students and everything, I'd rather see those same parents be notified and brought into the school and have it's like, I have my supervisor
I don't have a problem with that.
Steps, right?
I
There's
don't-
the right, and then
I don't have a problem
that's like
with
going
that.
over right. I'd rather see that happen because these parents are not going to go downtown to where they have the meetings to talk. They should,
Right.
and I would love to see them, but they only get 2 minutes.
All,
I would love
all-
the principal to bring in all the parents in the theater at our school
Sure.
and go from there.
all I'm saying is if when we were in school, all right, I failed chemistry.
Yep.
Guess what? I had to go to summer school my senior year
No.
in order to get my diploma.
You don't want to know what summer school is in
All
this
right.
town.
But what I'm saying is if they don't do what they need, fail their asses.
They don't offer homework anymore. They don't take
Yeah.
books to and from.
Well-
Nothing. John has a comment. John,
When my youngest son was in middle school, his first year of middle school, their policy was if you have an unexcused absence, the parent must attend the school before that student will be let back in.
do you mean attending as how the student go through the
As
classes?
with every single class with that student.
Gotcha.
I
Okay,
know
with their
because I
student.
had to do that,
Gotcha.
Can I throw this out?
and they could not come back to school until you did that.
Gotcha.
What happens if your child misses too much school in Nevada? In accordance with Nevada law, an unexcused absence is deemed to be a truancy issue. Any student who has been declared truant 3 or more times within one school year must be declared a habitual truant. Nevada law requires that habitual truants be reported to law enforcement.
What did we say before we went on the show about things we would invest in?
Yeah.
Truancy officers,
Yeah.
right?
That's right. Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
I can't I don't know the last time I even heard my wife say the word truancy officer at her school.
We didn't have no damn truancy officer.
we
No,
did.
If
My
we didn't,
town, we
My
did.
grandfather was a truth.
Right,
if we didn't go to school, man, we got our ass whipped.
Yeah, we had
Yeah.
the truancy officer
Yeah.
at home.
But
Rick, go ahead.
but here's the good thing.
We have about
See-
3 minutes left. fellas.
CCSD, man, they're putting forth the effort to try and correct this thing, right? And so what they're going to do, they have a new website including information about topics such as why attendance matter, attendance rules, ways to get students more excited about attending school, physical and mental health, and supporting families.
Mhm.
So they'll have that information on a website where you can go on and you can study and look at it. How many people do you think that are going to go on and read and look at this and say, you know what, they're absolutely right? Some way, somehow, the parents are going to have to be the ones, man, that's going to have to grasp a hold of this, man.
Silly question. Does it say what language that website's going to be written in?
No, they didn't say about anything about that.
And I ask that this way because there are way ton students who come to their schools learning English under ESL.
Mhm.
English as a second language, meaning they're not learning English prior to coming to school. Well, they are, but not enough, which means Spanish or French or Chinese or Japanese or Hebrew are the languages that are being spoken in the home when the parents should be pulling those sites up. The parents can't read it in English because they were never taught how to read it.
Absolutely.
So your point about how many would pull that up, I can't see it being worth the money they're spending to even have created that website.
Well,
But-
the thing about it, there might be a certain demographic
Okay.
that they're probably trying to reach out to.
And it's
And
a
I-
demographic that probably can't read the website.
Probably can't read
from my experience.
website. But once again,
Yeah.
it's about correcting. Just like when you put
Right.
a new carburetor on an engine, right? You
Right.
say the carburetor is brand new,
It's got
but it's still not running right.
Right.
So I have to make a few adjustments.
Right.
So let's see if they can make some adjustments
it's a
to
start.
it in that whole deal. It's a start.
Right.
You got to go somewhere to get this thing taken care
It's
of.
all about that word that we've talked about with George. We've talked about it on TCA. It's that word accountability. Somebody somewhere, and I'm not talking the teachers. Too many students are sent to school thinking the teachers are the daycare center.
Mhm.
Okay. We all
That's
know,
right.
we all grew up where the accountability was the four walls with which we lived in.
That's right.
My dad had a size 13 hard sole moccasin that if I got that whooped across my butt one time,
Yeah.
it's all I needed to know that I didn't want to do it again, and I
Yes,
got
sir.
to get into the follow. But
Yes, sir.
that being said, we also say what we talked about before. We acknowledge that there are legitimate reasons
Sure.
why maybe students show up late, why students don't make it, because Not
transportation.
Transportation. Look, today 30 kids were late because of an accident on the highway to take the bus.
Mhm.
Okay, initially they were marked absent.
Right.
Nobody knew.
Mhm.
So my point is, you can have a single household, as an example, where mother's due diligent, or father or grandmother, whoever's taking care of the student. I need you to do this. You're going to work. I need your homework done. But they're out of the house doing 3 jobs to
Right.
just try to make the $2,000 a month rent
That's
on a
right.
1-bedroom apartment.
That's right.
So there are times that we have to look at that these issues are not 100% non-compliant because they're truant.
Right.
There are going to be a percentage of these situations that, if you want to look at them and investigate them because of the truancy trend,
Yeah.
get to the bottom as to what it is. So there's
That's
a
the
lot
key.
of angles to fix this,
That's the
but at least the website's a start, and I will acknowledge at least it's a start. But it has to start at home. Parents have to hold their kids accountable for homework, getting stuff done, reinforcing stuff on the weekends. I hate going to Mondays with my kids that I tutor, and they forget everything in 2 days that we talked about. It's like once the toothpaste is empty, you ain't getting it back
Getting
in.
it back in.
And it's very frustrating.
Sure.
They'd rather make excuses for not finding time to read than finding time to read. All right, with that, the clock on the wall over there struck 0, which means John is pissed
Oh
at me
my
because we're
goodness.
supposed to quit a minute early. Anyway, with that,
You got Chief here, man. We can run over. Don't worry about it.
Hey, is that Navy and Army getting after it?
Navy and Marines.
Navy and Marines. Oh boy.
You know, you should hear what goes on a
Merry
Saturday. in
Christmas
there.
and a Happy New Year.
All right, with that, we're going to say goodbye and wrap up. Mr. Rick Upchurch, final thoughts, sir.
What does Christmas mean to you? Have we lost the meaning of Christmas? It's about, man, us coming together as family. It's not about having to go out and buy a bunch of presents. Bringing family together, end of the year, man, making sure everyone is well. And once again, just loving one another. So just love each other, man, and have happy holidays, okay?
Right on. Mr. Chief, you get another one this week.
As I started this show out with, we got to laugh, we got to cry, and we got to love each other. And that's from the Chief.
And I apologize we didn't have time to get into your other topic,
It's all
but
right.
we'll bottle that in the back
Yeah, we'll
pocket
get
for
that.
another
Yeah,
show.
we'll get it.
Okay. All right. So here's the thing, and you guys are so right. And the people that I do my shows with, whether it's, it's always, John is always here. He's a consistent. I love John and to death. Chief, you came into my life a couple of years ago with TCA when you started as a bell ringer for us in Scott's studio, and then you came on board to the
There you
show
go.
full time.
Yeah.
And I love you for that. Matt,
Yeah.
he and I are the only two
Originals.
lasting members of that show, and I love Matt to death, and the historian and everybody. Rick, and I've told the story in the past how you and I met at Michelle Bedwell's house that
Right.
day, and
Mhm.
there was that night at Applebee's. I got the hand on my shoulder. I'm paying attention to the Rick Upchurch. He goes, "Hey, Aaron, how you doing?" And it had been years from that party to
Yes,
that
sir.
night, right?
Yes, sir.
And he touched me on the shoulder like he had just hung up the phone with me 20 minutes ago.
There you go.
For me to have experiences with the individuals that I do, for me to be able, when this man, Rick, as an example, walks into the studio, we say hello to each other. Yeah, you can fist bump, you can handshake, but we hug.
What's up? That's it.
We share the emotion, and I mean hug.
That's right.
Man, if there was a bear, what is that hold in wrestling?
Bear
hug.
There you go. He could squeeze the crap out of me. I could do it to him too, but that's the kind of embrace. Chief and I hug on a Saturday. Because it's okay to feel that love for a fellow human being,
Yep.
male or female, even with George not here, regardless of sex. You
Absolutely.
Can still love
But the thing about it, there's not enough. Remember the song Dionne Warwick? What
Friends.
the world needs now
Is
is love, sweet love. I love that song. And at Christmas time, I like playing that.
Yeah.
Because it gets you into the mood of love.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Also, the song "The 12 Pains of Christmas"
Yeah.
is the one that gets
That's a
me in
good
the
one.
mood. All right, with that, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I know we're a couple of minutes over. John,
Johnny, thank you. Thank you for letting us go a little
Is there
over.
anything you want to share before I go off the air in that last
Johnny.
thought for the day?
Yeah, let's make it run longer.
All right.
With that, everybody, we'll
It
see you
figures.
tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Kiwanis Connects. We'll introduce you to the new governor. That's right, the new Cal Neva governor. As always, be kind to everybody. Why? We'll see you next time because we're all we got. Thank you for
Figures
watching.
John would throw a turd at us.
I'm
though.
telling you.